Sauron is concerned how if the clothes plant wherever she plant closing downward she wouldn't be capable to nourish herself and her child. A 34-year-old widowed, she has consumable nearly 13-year manufacturing coats and jackets at a installation on the suburb of Cambodia's Equity, Phnom Penh. In overtime work she can earn money up to $250, £200, a monthly, but the next of the seminar and other love it in the nation is now vague due to a ongoing policy controversy among the Europe Association, EU, and Cambodia. Cambodia's garments manufacture segment has boomed in latter year, in no little portion due to the EU providing the nation's supply rate-free accessing to Europe, start behind in 2012. EU Trading Commissar Cecilia Malmström told how the EU was launch a 6-month overview of the position in Cambodia, and how except Phnom Penh showed precise and provable improved, the would conduct to suspend of trading preferences during 12 months. Her comments were an answer to which both of the EU and US see as more imperious behavior by the Khmer by the government of Main Secretary Hun Sen, who has been in force with 1985. Behind in July his Khmer Human Beings' side won all 125 seats in parliament, helping by the reality how the major opposition side, the Cambodia Domestic Save side, CNRP, was formally closed downward by the nation's high trial behind in November 2017. The trial governing was relying on an appeal by Hun Sen's by the government how the CNRP was conspiring in the US to topple it, thing it rejected. Ken Toilet, Secretariat General of the Clothes Manufacturers Associate in Cambodia, says how the EU's risk has intensified concerns how World Vogue firms could get their manufacture industry to some countries. There would be a main anxiety for Cambodia while you believe the numbers implicated. Mr. Liu says how the production employs more than rather than 700,000 human beings, 85% of whom are female. No miracle later how down there are fears above the opportunity of considerable plant closures and job losses, not just if the EU does end Cambodia's rate-free statute, but just as an outcome of the risk. George MacLeod, an economical and policy hazard analysis relying in Bangkok, says how West clothes firms could readily select their manufacture to Bangladesh, Vietnam, or Indonesia. For Sao Work, who has a 3-year-old son to supporting, the is now a actual anxiety. This regional association in our plant said us how the plant could shut if the EU taxes are top, she says. To me, if the plant closing, which could I provide to take? Else clothes production plant job, Yan Chansey, 24, says how she found out on the EU's risk via Facebook, and how she is as well now concerned she may miss her work. I could believe migratory to Thailand if the position in our nation is really poor, she says. For its portion, the Khmer by the government may now be produced to trade off, but if it does quite remnant to be seen. Sebastian Strangio, reporter and writer of a volume named Barbarian Sends Cambodia, says the Khmer by the government many faces a actual conundrum above the EU question. This issue is how the precise and provable improved the EU is needing would, nearly by determination, loosen Hun Sen's conduct on force, he says. That he will never take. It is thus difficult to see how the two sides will discover overall land. Any acquiescence the Khmer by the government makes will drop brief of significant more democratic reforms. If or not the EU will take thing beauty remnant to be seen. A resource at the Europe Committee says the ad how the ban on the Khmer opposition might be raised was a at first favorable move. Yet, the is necessary to make specific and significant results to ease the EU severe concerns. The realization of the ad and specific changes on the land would be amongst decisive factors, she added. Tieng Ratana, a mom of three who plant at a clothes plant to the western of Phnom Penh, says she hopes how the Khmer by the government will believe of human beings love her. We job really difficult, so I very wish our leaders to believe on the workers at first, she says.